Hello, we are the Sweet Talkers for the Pajama Party podcast. Episode
17.
17.
It's 17 already.
17.
Oh,
Yeah, well, you've missed quite a few.
Well, you know what? Someone needs to wake up a little bit earlier on Sundays.
Probably not.
I'll wake you up with a Bloody Mary and a bagel.
Now it's asking me again if I want to trust your computer.
I know. I don't know why I just quit it.
Moving on.
Just don't
So,
Yes, because
we
we're
have a
live,
special
we're
guest
on.
here tonight.
That's what I was going to say.
Sweet Talker's Chicken Coop.
I was going to say for you to introduce your guest.
My guest,
I'm trusting and not
Nicolena,
trusting.
is here tonight to talk about her experience being married and dating someone in the band.
Is that why we brought her here?
Well, no, but I don't know.
Up volume.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm very excited to be here.
Welcome.
Thanks.
Well, I have a technology question.
Oh,
Now,
Again.
all right. So, oh, you know why it's doing that? I figured it out because there's something wrong with my charging port.
well, that'll do it.
So, wait, if I go on Facebook, I think I'm about to sneeze.
And I'm sure they don't care to hear about that.
But what I'm saying
No,
is,
they
if
don't
I
care
want to
about
share
that.
on Facebook, and this is live on Instagram, can I just share an Instagram post onto...
No. Okay, so back to the main
There we
issue
go.
tonight.
You're rude.
Didn't you miss me?
She's trying not to bore the people.
And myself.
We're going to have less viewers today because you're here.
I know, this is true. I'm usually like your sole viewer now. I think I've listened to all of them but one. And only because I was out to dinner. And it's rude to do that when you're out with somebody. Like listen to a podcast.
Well, you could do like what the guys do. Like it was in a movie where they like would put an earpiece in their ear to listen to like the
The
games.
football game.
The football games?
The episode of Friends. Where
I'm really getting sick and tired of this.
Oh, I have another thing too. I'm just not going to touch it.
So, we didn't come up with like a list of questions for you, did we?
No, we're kind of just winging it.
Okay. So, you and Nick have been together for a very long time. Tell us more about
Tell
it.
this is going to get weird. Why is Vicki leading the show?
I don't know.
I wish
She
I
comes
wasn't
back
even
and she
here for
thinks
this.
she's in charge.
Yeah.
I wish I wasn't even here for this.
You guys wanted her back so badly.
Exactly.
Maybe you guys should have your own podcast.
Okay, well, we're talking about
People would listen to that.
all the different, what it's like being in the band single, what it's like being in a relationship, what it's like being married. So let's start with the marriage part.
We have all the elements.
Or should we go with the single part first?
Uh,
Because we were at the Grasshopper Saturday night.
yeah,
That's where the idea stemmed from.
Yeah.
Was because of the...
a really pretty girl went up to Joe,
I really wish I was there for this. I'm really upset.
and which my boyfriend pointed out to me, and I turned around and saw that he was not interested, and he just let her walk away. She was very pretty.
No
I don't
comment.
really have anything to say.
You have no explanation?
The
I would love to hear one.
regret is what I have.
So you regret it?
I mean, she was cute, you know.
And you didn't even look at her. You
Ah,
were looking
because
at her
you're
like
weird.
on the side the entire time. Like saying you're the girl, even though like you guys were closer.
Well, you know,
And I'm you were like this, like talking.
because
Why are you
that's
looking
how
at
she
her?
came up to me. That's how she approached me.
Maybe she was nervous.
And she said, "I'm just standing here because I'm trying to get away from somebody else." I was like, "Oh, all right, well, stand here as long as you need."
Okay, well
Oh,
that
so-
was an excuse.
And a pretty poor one at that.
Yeah, right? Well, clearly it didn't work.
This context is great though, because I didn't know all of that.
I also didn't know that.
It is.
So does that change anything then?
Not
You
really.
guys gonna make fun of me less because of it?
I'm probably making
It's
it a little
really.
more.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. I'm just gonna do it a different way this time.
Oh, my mom's listening.
It's a little
Is it your mom
different.
or is it your dad?
No, it's my mom. Because my
Sorry.
mom has Instagram and my dad's... Well,
Everybody's cutting off my
oh, I'm sorry. My dad's sleeping.
I didn't even hear him
I
talking.
find it best if we just ignore all that.
That's what we do all the time
But
in the van.
I think it's weird being as the two singles in the band. It's weird. People always ask me all the time, ever since even when I was playing in the other band, like, "Oh, you play in a band and you get to meet a lot of people, you probably talk to girls all the time. You probably have, I hope my mother's not watching, you probably hooked up with a lot of girls because of just being in the band. Not really true. Actually, in most recent years, I've met more people than in all the years combined. But it's weird. It's really weird. It's different because, I don't know, and this may be an age thing, but we get a lot of like young 20-year-olds, and me and Joe are not young 20-year-olds.
But that's
even
not
though
necessarily not what we're looking for.
I'm not saying that's not what we're looking for, but I'm saying that the level of communication is different between people from our age group and people in that age group, especially when you put alcohol into the mix.
Yeah, I mean, you mean like a generation thing?
Yes.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Because sometimes I'll be in a conversation with someone and they'll just not be interesting, and I don't think
they're also drunk.
That's what I'm saying. But I've also gone out with some of those said people in other instances when they weren't drunk, and that was even worse.
So then why do you guys say that you want girls in that age group? Why wouldn't you, as like whatever age you are, I don't know if you want to disclose it, but why wouldn't you go for more of your age group then?
They're not at the bars.
Well,
They're home married with children.
maybe you need to go to the food store.
Or the library.
That's not.
And what, picked up a married woman with children?
Yeah, what's up with that?
What's
See,
going on?
that's a what do you call that? That doesn't really happen.
No, it doesn't.
Hey, nice eggs.
My
You told me
mom's
not to
gotten hit
pick
on
up.
at the food store
That
recently.
doesn't mean girls don't get hit on. I just mean it's probably unsuccessful.
When you say, hey, nice eggs, are you complimenting her kids that she has with her?
Wow. You haven't hit menopause yet. Would you like to go out sometime? We're not that old either.
No, you're not.
We're not. But that is most of the demographic that comes to our shows.
Yeah.
So that just happens to be a lot of the times the kinds of people that we're talking to. It's not all bad or terrible. It's funny too because I feel like girls in bars in that situation, single girls in bars in that situation, have very limited attention spans. Because especially at like the Osprey, it's like we'll be playing one song and this girl will be talking to this guy, and they might even like make out for a second, and then 2 songs later she's like talking to this guy.
I think that's an interesting topic. The things that we see while we're on stage.
Yeah.
Because everyone's there to, not that they're there to see us, but I mean, we're the entertainment, we're the, most of the people are watching us, but we're also watching everybody and everything that's going on.
And we have a really good view for that.
I was just
On
gonna
the
say it's
stage,
cool.
yeah.
It's cool to like talk about it at the end of the night because you guys have like the stage view and you can always see so much more than like we see down below.
Yeah.
So it's always like different perspectives. Like, oh no, this is what actually really happened. You only saw like the side view of it.
Last night we saw some interesting
I was
things.
just gonna say that.
Last night we were at Nardi's in LBI, and we saw, I don't know if you guys saw the one couple fall on the,
Subwoofer.
yeah.
I think I
Drink went everywhere.
Well, no, that was
That was
the
a different
girls
girl.
beforehand that got the drink everywhere. So when the couple fell, the guy got up and his shirt was like soaking wet. That was unfortunate for him.
Like,
It was
leaned
very
off-
funny for me. But the girl
leaned
looked
off
like,
the subwoofer for us.
yeah, right? But the girl looked like she was going to like projectile vomit all over us. She was like not sober by any means. Or okay.
Pretty gross. Before we go any farther, let's just mention real quick that have a host of gigs coming up this week. You mentioned we were at Nardi's last night. Nardi's every Monday throughout the rest of the summer, but this weekend, Friday, we will be back at the Stagehouse Tavern in Scotch Plains, New Jersey. Saturday we'll be at the Steam Pub, which looks like a cool place. Just checked it out. This will be our first time there in Southampton, Pennsylvania, which is near the other baker's place we used to play at.
Oh, that's right.
I believe. Sunday, big show coming up Sunday at Harrah's Pool, 8 o'clock. I don't know why I'm looking at you guys. But Harrah's Pool, go down to Atlantic City, get a room, and treat yourself.
There's a cover either.
I don't think so either.
It said no cover.
No cover.
More of a reason to go.
Bring your bathing suit and swim and music. There's music. We'll be playing, and there's a DJ as well. And then Monday we'll be back in Marty.
Should be a fun weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Busy but fun.
Yeah.
Speaking of fun, though, maybe we should talk about where we were. Friday was... Friday? Water Street. Saturday,
Yes.
Grasshopper, our favorite.
Which is awesome.
One of our favorites, for sure. And then Monday at Lori's.
Yeah.
This weekend was pretty fun.
It was good.
Friday was awesome. We had the 70th birthday crew that were
right.
there.
There's pictures
They were so much fun.
I love old people.
I do love old
They're
people.
so cute. You ever see like chicks say like talk about old people?
She's been doing it since Friday.
I loved her.
I don't understand. I don't think they would want to be referred to as cute.
I would.
I think I'd be
Could you
okay
imagine
with
Right?
like someone that's that
As an old
old,
person.
like a World War II veteran or like a Vietnam veteran,
Well, they don't
being
do that-
referred to as cute?
Well, you don't say to their face.
Yeah.
So you're shit talkers then, not sweet talkers.
Oh.
Oh, look at you.
Burn!
So yeah, DJ Officer Ed, of course, DJing
Yeah.
on
That's
Friday.
great.
You know, I didn't see him when we were loading in, so I thought he wasn't going to be there, and then he just popped in.
His computer was in my spot, so I knew it was there.
His duct tape computer.
Poor Ed. But it was a good crowd there.
Yeah, it was.
We had a pretty packed dance floor all night. That place usually is an earlier crowd and then dies down a little bit. So
Well, it's also it was really nice out on Friday, so they have that outside part.
yeah,
So I was surprised that we had a bunch of people dancing
yeah,
throughout the whole night.
it was very good. And Saturday we went up to the Grasshopper, which is always awesome. It's so funny there. Every time that's the opposite. It's a late crowd. We started at 11 there, and every time we're there at 10 o'clock, setting up, there's like 2 people upstairs. And Chris always looks at me and he's like, I think it's going to be a light crowd tonight. Every time.
You should say that every time.
He does.
You should
It's like superstition. And then like 10:50, people just start like swarming upstairs. And it was pretty crazy. Those group of girls, I can't remember names. I'm terrible. But
I
I
know.
know what you're talking about.
they were in front of where we play, right in front of my mic stand, and I was like, I know this girl from somewhere. And we had taken a picture with her and her friends the last time, and I pulled up the picture on my phone and I went over and I showed her. I was like, is this you? And she goes, oh my god.
Well, that's a good conversation piece,
Yeah,
you know?
it was good.
I feel like not necessarily in that instance, but going back to the whole singles being in a band.
Yeah, you go ahead and give questions to that because I'm going to ask some questions.
We're being
feel like-
interrogated. Drink
It is-
up.
I don't like this.
No, I'm just saying, I feel like you have a lot of conversation starters. Like, oh, are you guys enjoying the band? Are you guys enjoying it? Is there anything you want to hear? I feel like you have so many ins to talk
Are
to
you
people.
from around here?
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
usually what I go to. It's like, where are you from?
And I think that's like you have more
Do you
power
come
to say that like as band members, and like if you're like a random guy at the bar saying,
Exactly.
"Oh, you're from around here," they'd be like, "Go away." But
You're a
you're
little
like
bit
the
more.
band.
You're a little bit more higher profile.
Yeah, exactly. You're not as creepy.
Yeah,
Not as creepy. Still creepy, but not as creepy.
not as creepy. I've done that quite a bit. And then like, oh, well, you know, if they say, yes, we are from around here, be like, oh, well, we're coming back here on such and such date, and like try to keep it going that way. But, shit, what was I? Oh, when we used to have the Under Pressure stickers, we used to do this thing where we would go up to a group of girls who were like, you know, stealing the show all night, give them all stickers, and then have them take a picture with the sticker. and that was like a thing, and then we would always post those pictures. But those were a good conversation starter too, because people love free shit.
Yeah.
Those stickers are going to be coming soon.
Sweet,
Probably do that tomorrow.
sweet. New merch
New merch.
coming up.
Like prototype Sweet Talkers T-shirt.
Oh yeah, show the camera.
Where's what camera? Which one? Can you
Both.
see
That's
it?
fine. Yeah.
Yeah. I like it. I think it came out pretty good. Shirt's a little too big, but
Did you call it a prototype?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A prototype. I hope I'm using that word correctly.
Yeah.
And that it is a one-off test.
We're gonna get some booty shorts and tank tops.
I don't think those are necessary. What were your questions?
my question
Says the girl with 2 pineapples strategically placed on her shirt.
I like pineapples. What can I say?
Well, do they have to be where they're positioned?
I don't know if it's like strategically.
Just
done that
saying.
way.
It definitely is.
Well, where
Why
else
would-
would you put 2 pineapples on a shirt?
Why didn't they just put one in the center?
That would look funny.
No, it wouldn't.
Would it?
What were your questions?
So you've said you have sealed the deal before. How does that happen? How do you make it happen? Right?
Those
Is
are
that a
those
good question?
are supposed to be secrets.
Well,
Right?
we're airing it all out here.
I'm not gonna let on to it.
I think okay. I think it takes the right kind of person and steering the conversation in the right direction, which I have done on a few occasions. One particular person was very interested in the music we played, and we talked about that, and that was like, they didn't care about like, what their friends were doing or whatever. They were just like, oh, you guys played this song, I love this song, you guys played this, and where do you guys play? And like, had been really interested in other bands and like was naming off like all the bands that we know and stuff like that. So that was like,
Name
oh,
drop.
this is easy to have a conversation.
easy. I got
Yeah.
this one in the bag.
Yeah. Other things got in the
Didn't one
way.
chick that you met at a show, like, wasn't she really into Star Wars? Or is that something else?
Actually, same girl. So I went out with her not at a gig,
Right, right.
and we had what started as a very awkward conversation. And then shortly went into like, I don't know how that came up, but Star Wars did come up. And she like had more references of Star Wars than I did.
Oh my god, that's
That's
shocking.
wow.
And I was just like,
Wow.
yeah.
That's sad.
So was that?
And then when she ended up being a it made it that much worse.
I wonder if she like. Did you talk about Star Wars like before that date? I wonder if she like went home and like was like researching.
No.
Star Wars.
I never mentioned it.
Were you wearing a Star Wars shirt that night?
No,
You
I
were
came from
comfy?
work. I was wearing something else.
No, I meant
No, like at the show.
At the show.
Did they talk about it at the show?
No, did you wear a Star Wars?
Oh, no. It was the Osprey.
Would you not wear a Star Wars
No.
shirt, the Osprey?
No, I had a nicer shirt on. I didn't have a Star Wars shirt on.
Okay.
So you
But-
weren't repping Tatooine.
Tatooine, no.
No.
I didn't even have that shirt then.
I think your best approach is to bring the Star Wars into it first.
Right away.
Before
Weed
you
them
take
out.
them home, because then you take them home and then they see the
Then you end up with Stella.
yeah.
Stella. Oh my goodness.
Please don't tell me this is how I met your
It
mother.
is
It
how
most
it is.
certainly is.
You know something?
I think it's funny.
The 4 of you need to,
Oh, we came up with a good idea.
Oh, we did.
We came up with a deal.
A deal.
You have to watch Grey's Anatomy. No, sorry. You have to watch. Listen. I'm getting the shit end of this deal.
I'm
So
not watching Grey's Anatomy.
you have to watch How I Met one season. You have to watch How I Met Your Mother. Vicky's gonna watch 1 season of Seinfeld.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch 1 season of Grey's Anatomy.
Oh, I love that.
Which he
You
really
are
gets the
getting-
shit out
yeah.
of the deal because
I
they're
get the
hour
shit, and-
episodes.
Yeah, but it's only 9 the first season. My sister just wrote, ha ha ha, Stella. No, Nick, you watched all the way up until Derek died. You wouldn't watch. He watched Grey's Anatomy with
Which
me.
was really far into the show.
yeah, like 10 seasons.
Was it?
Yeah,
I watched
10
10 seasons
seasons.
of that shit.
I honestly think it was 11.
That shit. He loved it.
Yeah.
He watched that and This Is Us.
Oh.
No,
You watch
he
This
won't.
Is Us?
He won't. No, not anymore. Ever since that, he doesn't like when people die.
I don't like drama.
Yeah. So
I don't like drama.
Yeah, why would you? Because why would you want to make yourself upset?
No,
Yeah, I
it's
don't
just
like
it's just
drama.
it's real life. Like you.
It's, I didn't know.
real.
First of all, Grey's Anatomy is not.
Well, maybe not
real
Grey's
life.
Anatomy. Although there are some of those medical things are based off real medical things.
And the relationships can be relatable. You haven't watched the show, so you can't
I'll
say
tell
that.
you what, I'm familiar with one of those chicks on that show, banging a ghost or something like that.
What?
Okay, that was a hallucination. She's talking about it.
Yeah.
Oh.
It was a hallucination.
She was weird.
That was a weird storyline.
That was
That
weird.
was
I
a
didn't
weird
like
storyline.
that at all.
But that is true. Like you can hallucinate from.
I'm pretty
certain
sure
things.
at the end of one season, literally everyone died.
That was a plane crash. Yes, which plane crashes do happen.
That was also a really sad episode.
That was
I
hard.
I probably cried more in that episode than I did when Derek died.
See, why are you crying though? Why?
Because you get emotionally attached to like.
Exactly.
I can understand that, but why would you put yourself in this? Hey, I'm in a great mood. I'm gonna sit down and watch some TV, and then by the end of it, you end up crying. Why would you do that?
Gina goes,
You
he was
need
a
a-
hot
you need a-
ghost, but still.
Oh, you know what? Now I think Gina's weird.
They're all weird.
Well, you have to watch a full season of it, so.
Not until he agrees.
Are you-
I feel like if
No.
you guys had girlfriends, you'd be
Listen,
watching those kind of shows.
That is true, because
Yeah.
Maybe that's the key to getting laid.
I don't think so.
sacrifice.
I don't think so.
If you came up to me at a bar, Mike, if I was single, you came up to me at a bar and you had watched the first season of Grey's Anatomy.
Let's not talk about what would happen if I came up to you at the bar. You think your husband's got game?
I think the same thing would happen that's happening right now. I would be with her and you'd still be single.
That was a good burn.
Wow.
That was a good burn.
I would be
Although-
impressed. I would be impressed.
Nick went right over to some girl last night and was like, you look like Mike's type.
I did.
It was so funny.
She was the girl that spilled the beer everywhere. Deal breaker.
Yeah, definitely.
She
not
can't
like
hold
that.
herself together.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
was.
I've seen plenty of episodes of How I Met Your Mother, and I'm just
But not in
interested.
order.
Not
Yeah,
in-
it really
no.
needs to be done in order. You know, my favorite episode of that show is the first episode of the second season when Lily leaves and Ted and Robin get together and Barney thinks that all the guys are single at once and he's like so excited and then he finds
I've
out
seen that episode.
that is like the funniest episode.
Did nothing for me.
Because you.
And you know what? I don't think Vicki would appreciate Seinfeld. And you know what? I don't care.
You know what's
Enjoy
funny is that, quite frankly, and I'm not patting myself on the back, but Vicki finds me hilarious. And I steal a lot of my material from Seinfeld and have that kind of humor. So I don't understand why she
Wasn't
wouldn't.
she the one that told you shouldn't do stand-up?
She's full of shit. She's
I
full
do
of
say
shit.
that, though.
What?
I will say that too. Don't do stand up.
No, I'm not going.
No, I think Mike's funny.
I'm
I laugh at a
funny
lot
when
of
I'm not
people's-
under pressure.
What?
I'm funny when I'm not under pressure.
That's
If I was-
funny.
Not
That was funny.
Thank you, you got it.
under pressure anymore.
Pun intended.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay. Wow.
But can I ask you guys this? Do you guys like being like? Does being single make it easier for you to be in a band?
100%.
No, because I think it depends on the type of person that you're with. And
Yes.
I don't think that, I mean, especially where I am now, and if you want to say it's because I'm old, whatever, but I've also been in this band for almost 10 years. So clearly it means a lot to me. And if some chick's going to come up and be like, guess what? I'm going to be like, hit the bricks, honey. You know, it's not gonna fly.
Hit the brakes,
So
Dolph
I would
AC.
only be with a chick that would be cool with it.
Right.
You'd
yeah.
have to be cool with it.
Yeah.
It's more than half my income.
Mm-hmm.
That is something you enjoy doing.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
If you're gonna meet someone that's a musician, you have to understand. Like if you meet a girl, if I met a girl at a gig, you know, and then we go on a couple of dates, and then she says, "All right, well, I'm not comfortable dating someone that's in a band." Okay, well, why did you even approach me to begin
Yeah.
with?
Mm-hmm. I think girls have like a very distorted view of like dating a musician. Like I think it's gonna be like all like fun and like rock and roll, and then like
Rock and roll.
It's going to be all
That's a
sex,
good
drugs, and
point.
rock and roll.
And that is something that I will speak on from experience.
Mhm.
That we're people too.
Of course.
Okay, we're not just. It's not just like, oh, I'm going to bang the drummer of the band. Like, you probably could. I mean, I wouldn't say that I'm.
You wouldn't
know.
say no,
You're-
although you said no to that girl.
Your
the other day.
mother is listening,
I'm
Joseph.
pretty easy, I guess. But then it's like if there's nothing else to it, come on, you know.
I would.
I've had, and people come up to you and they just ask you how's the band? It's like, well, you know me. I don't want to divulge too much of the situation that I was in when this happened. When it's like, you just saw me perform last night, and I'm where I am right now. So the band's doing pretty good. You
Right.
can ask me how I'm doing.
Yeah.
You know, there's a reason why you're seeing me the morning after a gig.
I actually just read an article yesterday about Frank Sinatra's first wife. She just died. And they started dating before he was anything. And then they got married, and they were married and whatnot. And then he became like Frank Sinatra, and she couldn't put up with like the lifestyle.
Yeah.
But he was very, in the clubs, and he was very famous, and they divorced, and she never remarried, but they stayed really good friends throughout like his whole life. But she couldn't deal with that. Like, she couldn't live the lifestyle he was living.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of a different story, though. I mean, that wasn't before you were famous, now you are famous kind of thing.
Yeah, I guess that's
we're
true.
We're not famous, but I mean, we do what we do.
And tying this into meeting people, whether it's at gigs or whether it's not, the fact that like we do what we do makes it that much harder to meet other people, meet normal people. Because even if I like meet someone at ShopRite or wherever you think I'm going to meet girls,
Mike, why don't you try online dating?
or we could get into that too. But even if I were to, most of the time, these are going to be like regular people who work Monday through Friday, and then they hang out with their friends Friday night, Saturday night, and that's when I would hang out with them if I was normal too. But I'm working Friday and Saturday night. So like you have reverse schedules. You ever date a musician?
No. And, I don't know. I feel like that'd be a sticky situation.
See, I don't know how and I have. Like, I've
Right.
dated not musicians, and I've dated musicians. And the one thing I did like about dating musicians is that we actually had the same schedule.
Right.
So it was like, hang out during the day, go to a rehearsal or a gig at night or whatever. And it was like, oh, well, this might work because of that. But then you're in situations, especially when you're like touring and stuff like that, where you know what goes on and how like easy things can happen, and then your mind starts to wander when like one person's in like different places. But anyways, not to go down that
That
dark path. How do you like being married to a musician?
Well, I was just thinking.
Yeah, let's put you in the hot seat.
When Nick and I started dating when I was 16. He was not in Under Pressure / The Sweet Talkers. Like,
But he was in a band.
You were in bands, yeah, but they were like. I was thinking about it this morning.
That's how we met.
Wait a
Yeah,
minute.
that's how we met.
So weren't you taking chances at the time?
No, this
Or
was
with
group
group therapy?
Yeah, that's
Oh.
how we met.
Okay.
But I mean,
You guys played a good amount of shows.
you did, and it became like just like a part of my life, like just going to see you play, and like I would bring friends, and I mean then you were playing like coffee houses where like you pass the bucket around, and if somebody put like $5, it was like a big deal kind of a thing, and then
Then I came in for the money a little bit more, and then
Right.
you were okay with it.
No, but it is like I would say it is difficult, and it's like an adjustment. You kind of have to adjust your schedule to fit. Like I adjust mine a lot of the times to fit his, especially when we weren't married and we weren't living together. And like when you guys were playing all those shows at Margaritaville, like when you guys were playing like 7 days a week, I would get off of work and then I would go straight to your parents' house and hang out with you guys, or hang out with him for 2 hours, 3 hours, eat dinner, then he would go play and I'd go home and go to sleep and kind of like repeat the same thing the next day. And over the weekends, like it kind of became cool though. Like when I turned 21 and all my friends were 21, they'd be like, where's Nick playing? And like everybody wanted to go out and see the band, and you guys became really close to a lot of my friends because of that.
Yeah.
So like we made like I tried to make it kind of like a thing.
Yeah. Not to bypass everything you just said, but just going back to what you were saying about how normal people, I'll use that term again, like come up to you and be like, oh, how's the band? And like that is almost offensive to you because they're not like remembering that you have all these other things that you're involved with, or that, you know, you're just...
Or if I'm like personally invested in them or their families
right.
or friends. You know
right,
what I mean?
right.
It's like...
But like...
It's just that drummer.
It's a lot of that. It's not that they're thinking of you as just a drummer, it's that they think it's super cool. Because I've experienced that with a lot of my family and extended family.
It'd be even super cooler to actually have a personal relationship with a person. Like, oh, we're actually friends because, you know,
yeah, but
you're
some
dating
people
someone that I know,
right.
or, you know, a family member of mine or whatever.
Yeah. But some people are like so removed from our world that it's like they get like a small window to see inside, and they're like, ooh, what can I learn about it?
And the times that's happened, I did, you know, they were just being nice, and I understand.
Yeah.
I just, you know, looking back on it now, of course, I mean, it's not something that lasted very long, but it was just kind of like, oh, well, clearly it didn't have any type of, because from my perspective, it's different. You know what I mean? I'm not dating a person that is on the stage. I'm just dating somebody that I found attractive. You know what I mean? So to me, you know, and I don't put myself up because I'm a musician or anything. I just, like, I'm a regular person. Like this chick, and, you know, hang out with her, whatever. And I think that there's something cool going on. And then this sometimes get that sort of a response back is like, oh, well, clearly I'm, you know, not what I thought I was. And then it's just like, oh, you're just another, you know, notch on the bedpost. And you would think that would come from the musician's perspective, you know, but it's actually not really the case all the time, you know, especially in a small time kind of environment like we're sort of in. But yeah, you know, I think you brought up a good point. It's what you make of it.
Right.
You know what I mean? You could make it a horrible, stressful, you're leaving again, and this is the schedule, and my schedule, and your schedule, or you can just make the best of it.
Right,
you
right.
know? And it does depend on what kind of person you are. I mean, for me, especially now, like, I'm a pretty independent person. I don't think I would want to be smothered anyway, so it's like, all right, you come to as many shows as you want. Maybe not all of them. Not that I would be bothered by that, but, you know, I understand.
Right.
So
I think too, like you know, my lifestyle right now still fits like the bar band lifestyle. Like it might be different when my lifestyle doesn't fit that anymore, and you guys he's still doing it. But then it's just like another adjustment that you have to make. I mean, people, it's funny. Like I've been with Nick, married almost 2 years together for 12, and longer than the band's been around, and I think at this point, like, I love everything you guys do, and it's always still so exciting to me, but it's become, like, such a part of my life that when people are like, oh, my God, your husband's in a band, that's so cool, I'm just like, yeah, okay, it's cool, like, whatever. Like, I'm just, like, kind of taken aback, and one of my best friends came out to the Osprey a couple weeks ago, and she brought her cousin, and her cousin was, like, thought you guys were the best thing she'd ever seen. She was like, you must, like, love this so much, like, this is so cool, and I was like, I hadn't thought about it in a while, and like I really do.
Because it gets old.
Yeah, it
you
does.
Get used to it.
And I do, and she was like, "What's your favorite song that they do?" And I literally had to kind of think about it for a minute because I love everything you guys do.
Well, I mean, those are questions like, didn't someone ask us that? Oh, your brother did. We had a whole big conversation about that, and it was a really cool, good conversation. I still didn't really have much of an answer for him. We said, like, what is your favorite? And then, you know, either your favorite song, your favorite genre, song to play, song to listen to, whatever. It's tough.
Yeah.
But what was cool was that we had that conversation about that, and I never thought about, your perspective on
Right.
that. So when I asked you, you've seen us a lot.
Yeah, my favorite thing that you guys do is the 70s mash. That is like my favorite. It's dance. It's like from start to end. I don't know how long it is. What is it? It feels like it's like 10 minutes long, and I don't even care.
It's close. It's like
Yeah.
I think 8.
I wish it was longer. I mean, from like start to finish, it's like so danceable. And
We have a
like,
second one in the work.
do you really? Oh, that's exciting.
I think it's hilarious that, I mean, it makes sense because you're always around, but it's like no one else knows that we call that the 70s mash.
Oh, really?
Like,
I think it's funny too. I remember the one time we were at a show and my sister had been to so many shows and you caught her, like she knew
the transitions.
Yeah, she knew the transition
Yeah.
to one song and you like caught her knowing it. But like people that see you guys enough will like kind of catch that stuff. But and that's one of my favorites.
I'm proud of our mashups.
Yeah.
You guys should be. You really should be.
We were talking, Chris and I were talking to, quite frankly, I don't like to talk bad about people who come out and see our shows, but this guy was a real pain in the ass. And he was just talking to us about how we needed to write original music, and he was granted very drunk, and he was on you ever see the movie with Adam Sandler, the one where he dates the 50 First Dates, or he dates
no.
you never seen it?
No.
Oh. Well, there's a guy in there who's in all of Adam Sandler's movies. They call him 10 Second Tom because he has like a problem and he only retain information for 10 seconds and then he starts over again. And that was like this guy. He like had 3 things that he kept saying and he was just rotating them as me and Chris were talking to him. And then like I kept having to repeat myself and I was just like, oh my God, I can't get away from this. But one of those 3 things was like, you guys need to write music. You guys need to write music. And we're like, well, first of all, like, we all have before, and like that wasn't going anywhere, but he's like, don't you like find it that you can't be creative being in a cover band? And I was like, no. I was like, one of the ways we are creative is like that with all of our mashups and stuff like that. And that's I think that's such a fun part of being in this band, is just being able to throw together ideas with
And
different stuff.
I agree with you 100%. There is a lot of people, and it's not just that. I know that
That's just one.
there's other musicians that think that.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, totally.
Man, why don't you come back to like our side?
Yeah.
Kind of thing. It's like you have no idea.
I, like, early on when I first started playing gigs and stuff like that with, like, original bands, I wasn't never against being in a cover band, but I didn't think that I would be in a cover band.
See, I was.
You were against it.
Very against it.
I don't know that I was against it. I, like, had, like, a thought about it, but I just never thought I would be. And now, knowing what I know now, I would tell everyone, and I would, like, tell all my students, like, everyone needs to be in a cover band at least once for a little while.
Yeah.
Because you learn a lot of shit. I never sang before until I joined the band. And now we sing harmony on every song all night long.
You never sang in any of the bands you were in?
No,
That's insane.
for a short time, I sang in Quincy's group, and then people were moving in and out, so people never relearned harmonies and stuff like that, so it just ended up falling off. But I never really did before. Yeah.
It's a waste of talent.
Oh, thanks. That's such a Vicki thing. Oh, thanks. I liked the thing you tagged me in today about, like, laughing, like breathing heavy through your nostrils or something like that. What was that?
Oh, I talked to you that last night.
Oh, what? Sorry for the couple hours difference. Shoot me in the head.
I don't know. I don't remember it.
Okay.
Word for word.
I don't know. Doesn't matter.
One thing is you have to deal with this jealousy, being married to a musician. No?
I deal with jealousy.
You have to deal with it. You know what I mean? What if I have to talk to people and be
Oh, yeah.
the life of the party, for lack of a better term?
I think that's something that I just had to, like, very early on, I just had to deal with that.
Was that hard?
It was, and I'll tell you what.
'Cause I would think it would have to do with, trust and maturity.
Yeah, when you guys started the band, I was a freshman at college, and I remember I came home for your first show, and you guys were still, like, you weren't playing every weekend, so he could still come up and visit me, and then sophomore year, things got more serious. You guys were booking a lot more shows, and the more shows you had, the less time, he was coming up, or I wasn't coming home, and so that was hard, but then I kind of adjusted to that, and then it was a whole, like, I had my life at school, you had your life home, and then in the summers, everything merged together, and it was all great, and then another transition came when I moved home from school, and, I moved home from school, you guys were playing Margaritaville, like, 5 nights, every night, but you're right, it does come with maturity, and it comes from strength in the relationship, like, us being together for so long and, having that bond and being secure in each other, you kind of just, like, you don't care. Like, people have said that to me, and it's actually, like, something that I hate. Like, I hate when, like, a friend will come out or just a random person will turn to me and, like, he'll see Nick talking to, like a bunch of girls or whatever, and they'll be like, oh my God, does that bother you? And I'm like, why? Like, why would you ask me that? Like, what am I supposed to...
That's such a rude question.
Yeah, like, what am I supposed to say to that? Yes, actually, right now, I'm, like, writing down on my phone, and I'm going to talk to them about it later. Like, yes, like, no.
It's so silly.
Yeah, it's silly.
When you think about it, it's so silly.
Right.
I don't know how I would be with that, though. I mean, I always look at it from my perspective, being like, all right, just deal with it. It's like, if I'm, dating you, I'm not going to... I'm not that type of person,
right.
So I'm not going to cheat on anybody, not gonna, whatever. But I don't know, like, especially, and a way to put it into perspective is, it's a very different perspective, but if you go to, like, a musician, like, then would you date an actress?
No, actresses are crazy.
Kiss?
I've dated an actress before. Crazy.
Right.
I'm sorry, but go ahead.
No,
Well,
I mean, they have to make out with dudes.
I
they
think
gotta
about that all the
bang
time.
Dudes, whether it's fake or whatever,
But
you still got junk rubbing up in places that it shouldn't be.
It's also part of the business.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that you understand
But
that
that's
well
what I'm
and, like,
saying.
you deal with it well.
I couldn't do that. I don't think I could date an actress because of that.
I think that it also goes with what she said. Like, you have to, if you're, like, secure in your relationship and you're happy and you trust each other, then I feel like you have nothing to worry about. If he's talking to a bunch of different girls, like, obviously she knows at the end of the day it's not serious. You know what I mean? He's, like, playing a part as if he is, like, an actor.
It's true.
Yeah.
I'm a performer,
Hey.
right?
And
Yeah.
I think it also comes with confidence in yourself.
Yeah.
Sorry.
What?
Your mom just said, "Hey, nice house." Thank you.
So Teresa's watching. Hi, Teresa. Vicki and I have been talking about, like, how we love this house.
How beautiful your house
like,
is.
I told Mike the other night, I'm like, when your parents want to sell this house, like, let me know. Not that I can afford it, but let us know, because we're...
I came over to water the plants and they were just here. I didn't know what to do.
We just show up.
Nick's in the pool. They're just looking at all the pictures.
I think it comes with security in yourself too. Like, if you're a
Sure.
if you're a naturally secure
Absolutely.
person, then that's not going to bother you.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, we were talking about this the other day. Like, Vicki's boyfriend and I, like, when we're at shows together and we're both having a good time, like, I don't think we even know what's going on.
You don't even know that there's a band playing.
The last time you guys were together, or 2 times ago, you guys were dancing together.
We were.
It's
but
almost like I should be getting jealous and kicking up a notch with Vicki.
I did ask Vicki's permission a while ago.
Oh, I wouldn't
was
care at all anyway.
And we just, I forget what show it was, but it was like, we were both drinking, and it was like...
And she was like, "Are you kidding me? Your husband's all over me every time we play."
No, but yeah, I totally agree. I feel like it definitely has to do with...
Yeah. Because people have asked me that too. Like, does it bother you that, like, your husband's in a band with a girl singer? And at this point, I'm like that question bothers me too. I'm like, no, that does not bother me at all. Of course, like, I've had a pretty decent relationship with every girl that you've had in this band, and like obviously you and I have a very good relationship.
You know, that's a funny thing. I've gotten that from plenty of people. No offense, and it's not just when you were in the band too, but like people come up to me and like, yo, so which one of you is banging the singer?
Yeah.
It's like, dude,
All the
first of
time.
all, I mean,
that's
we're
horrible.
professionals and we want this to work, so that's not how it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And
But
it's like-
there are bands that does happen.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it usually ends.
I dated someone who I was in a band with.
Oh, you're so right.
Exhibit A.
And look what happened now.
Oh, yeah, I didn't mean like, you know.
Trust me.
But
I had to make the mistake to learn it.
That's not what I meant, though. That's totally not what I meant.
I don't take
feel like
offense at all,
right.
so don't worry about it.
Because and that's not even what I was kind of getting at. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's just,
I feel like
It doesn't work.
well, but you know what? I know that
Some people make it work.
Right.
There are a few situations, there are bands, very famous bands that make it work.
Mm-hmm.
And I think even, isn't the girl in Mr. Wives, doesn't she date the drummer?
I think I remember reading that.
I think
you might be right.
they're together with each other. And the trumpet player and singer of that other group who's like them, Rubble Bucket, they date. So there
Now,
are instances.
Wait, wasn't there a situation in
I
Paramore?
was just thinking that, yeah.
And No Doubt.
And I think
No doubt makes it work though.
Didn't
They're not
Paramore,
together,
like,
but they
break
do.
up?
yeah, the one
They
guy
broke
left.
up because of it. Yeah,
The one guy left.
they never broke up, but yeah, they.
Do you want to tell us about your fave, Fleetwood Mac?
Yes, I would love to talk about Fleetwood Mac.
I heard that woman really gets around.
Yeah, she like bang everybody in the
But
band.
she was in love with the
banged-
guitar player, and
Of who? Of Fleetwood Mac?
Fleetwood Mac.
Because I also heard that she had a thing with a couple of the guys from the Eagles.
She did.
she did. She had a baby, well, didn't have the baby, and wrote a song about it with one of the
Which
guys
one?
from the Eagles.
Oh,
I know the song name, but I don't. I
forget.
read it like
Do you
recently.
know? Do you
I
know?
forget.
If my mom was watching, she would know. But I don't think she's
Well, I
watching.
think my mom's watching. I wonder if she knows.
I feel like she would know.
I watched like a bunch of
So
interviews
wait,
on
she
it.
dated or had relationships with multiple guys in the band?
No, only I think only the one, and then but the Eagles. What? Is she watching?
Joe Walsh. Wasn't it Joe
Was
Walsh?
it Joe Walsh? Or was it like Glenn Fry?
I always thought it was. I thought it was Joe Walsh, but I could be wrong.
Well, anyway, but that didn't work out
We
well.
know each other because you said one person,
What?
right? Wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard it was more than just one person.
Yeah.
And Fleetwood Mac?
Yeah.
Well, the other girl was married to the drummer, Christy McVie or whatever her name is. I don't really like her voice particularly. She was married to the drummer, so I mean, I don't really know if anything happened there, but I'm also not in that band or friends with anybody in the band, so if there's any secrets going on, I wouldn't know about them.
Well, then, and then it's also like, I mean, this is one situation. I feel like it probably happened a lot more back then because, like, back then those bands, like, they were touring bands and they would take their wives or girlfriends out on the road with them. So everyone's all in the same, like, close quarters all the time. And there was the whole situation with, wasn't it George Harrison and Eric Clapton? Like, Eric Clapton, like hooked up with George Harrison's wife or
really? I didn't
girlfriend
know
or
that.
something. Yeah, that's what Layla's about.
Yeah,
Really?
it was
Yeah.
George Harrison's wife.
Yeah,
I think he even married her.
yeah.
See,
I think
I
Eric
would-
Clapton married her.
I wouldn't,
After
I
they-
wouldn't have picked Eric Clapton as their wedding song if I had known that.
Womanizer. Put him up there with Bill Cosby.
Ooh, that's a
Controversial.
rough
Controversial.
It's a fucking joke.
Well, it didn't land. Anyways, back to you guys.
I think we've had enough.
Oh, whatever.
Why do you have
Well,
a
heard
specific
from that
question?
Perspective. What about from my?
Well, that's kind of where I was going with it.
Oh,
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
it's rough. being married.
All right, I'm over your perspective.
It's rough. It's rough. Yeah, it's real rough.
You know, there's just so many girls, and I just, yeah.
What do I always say? I'm like, they could have him. That's like.
They only knew.
Yeah, like when people say to me like, oh, like I'm like, oh, they can have them. They'll give them back. Like, and then it's sort of like, but when you ask a question, like
I give
that,
them 30 minutes.
Yeah. Like, when they ask a question like
Takes
that,
longer than that, pal.
I was talking about something else. If I was talking about that, I would have said 30 seconds. Let's be real.
oh boy,
Oh gosh. Is your mom still watching?
I don't know. I hope not. Sorry, Mom. No, she's like immune to Nick's humor now.
But you were asking me
Yeah,
something?
where were you getting?
I was over your perspective.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm interested in your perspective.
Oh, no, you know what? This is just going to open up this can of worms. It's going to get really awkward, and then everyone's just going to want to go home. Except for the two people that have to go home together.
But yeah.
How is it the opposite way, being the female performer?
Well, I'm really awkward. So normally
When we talk to people, we try to team up.
well, not even that. Well, that's going after like talking to girls and stuff like that. So like that's fine. I'm just like,
So that's
Fun
good.
little
We
friend.
team up, you know?
yeah, that's true.
Safety in numbers.
But sometimes when we're done playing, I just like pack up and like hide in the back. No, I'm just kidding. But no, I mean, I have a boyfriend. We've been together for a little bit now, and he's really great with everything. I mean, we dated before I was in the band, but he knew music was really important to me. So when Mike asked if I was interested in being in the band, he was actually he kind of pushed it more than I was.
I've heard that story. You were like on the fence, and he told you that he's like,
Yeah, I was a little more reluctant, and he was like,
why?
well, it was my last semester of college.
And I want him to just like get drunk and party and not have to worry about anything.
Not even that, but it was
Go
just,
to
it was,
Cancun, just spring break,
but,
body shots.
enough. No, but I remember exactly where I was on the phone with him, and he was like, you really should do it. He was like, you're going to regret it if you don't. And here we are.
Why were you...
I wanted to do it. It was just kind of like a conversation, like in my head. It was like, like weighing out the pros and cons. So.
And you feel you made the right decision?
No, actually, I'm leaving the band.
Real funny.
No, I'm just kidding. Yes, obviously, I feel like I made the right decision, and I'm really happy. I missed music a lot throughout the time I was in college. I played a little bit, but like not that much. And about the time that, I mean, I think you guys know this, but about the time that Mike asked me to join the band, I was really missing playing music a lot more than normal. So it was a perfect time. I was trying to figure out ways to do it anyway. So
There you go.
it was fate.
You know,
Now here I am.
what was it last week or the week before, Mike, that we had your brother on?
2 weeks ago, yeah.
2 weeks ago. I forgot to ask about this.
I have
after we
them.
were done. You have it? You have it with you?
Yeah, I can also show you a video that's on their page. If
I
Vicki-
also have all the videos on my phone. Every time you've seen me, I've had the videos on my phone.
Yeah, but I feel like you wouldn't show us.
I don't know, you don't know that. But
She would censor it. Like it would start and she would be like, no.
that's so true. That's exactly what I
I
would
have video recording of Vicki. She sent it to me.
do. What?
You sent
No,
it
you have you have all my originals.
to me.
But anyway, back to Bryant. Since you asked about that, yeah. So he basically gave me a little push to do something I love doing.
And emotional support.
Yeah, and he's been great. He comes a good amount of shows, not all of them, which is understandable, and normal. But yeah, so
And he always brings friends too,
yeah,
which is cool.
yeah. And he has fun at them, sometimes too much fun. Like Osprey got a little drunk. But, no, just kidding. I'm not, but that did happen, but no. It was fun. But he's great. He makes me feel really comfortable to be doing what I love doing, you know? Go Brian.
That's good.
Ooh, Brian.
He's a cool dude. It's good.
He's a
It's
great
good.
guy.
I like having him around. Love his
too.
dance moves too.
I hate his dance moves. He only dances with the arms. Upper body only. No, he's actually a really good dancer, which is the funny part because you'll never see that.
I saw him dancing in Hoboken
Oh,
with Nicolena.
that's true. Okay, yeah. Sometimes you'll see it, but he needs like a partner to dance with.
I think it's cool, you know, me like being with you guys for like the duration, like you're pretty much your whole lifetime as a band. There's been so many different groups, like people that have come in and out throughout the 10, 11 years.
Yeah.
And
What?
like
you
just
mean even before this, yeah.
yeah, like just before Mike and, you know, just obviously before Vicki, like just everybody, like we, you know, depending on who was in the band, like what people came out and what groups there were and who, you know, who you hung out with at shows and after shows. And I feel like for the first time in, I don't know, 10 years or whatever, like this is like probably the best like group that we've had of people that come out and hang out and, you know, we don't really get sick of each other. It's kind of cool to form those bonds with people. Yeah, well.
Vicky's looking at Joe like, I'm sick of this kid.
Well, we, you know, we can't get sick of each other. Well, we could, but I have to see you all the time.
Oh, that was really nice.
Anyway, what do we got over there?
Oh, my goodness. Do you want to introduce them?
Yeah, I would love to.
Good humor.
The best Oreos I've ever had in my entire life.
Well,
Better than the original.
wait, let me just stop you right there.
I already
Victoria.
tried them. I probably already ate like half of the.
This is actually our second container of these.
This is true. Except you finished most of the first one.
Because I bought them for you and you left them at my house.
That's what happened.
I thought the whole point was to sample them all together at the same time.
Well, you know what? They're so good that we couldn't
Discuss
wait.
our opinions.
Just hand them out.
You didn't
Hand them out.
know they were good before you
Hand them out.
cheated.
I had about 5 of them before this started.
So they're
They are
Did you
good
even say the
humor.
name of what they were?
Oh, strawberry shortcake.
Good humor.
They're like the ice
strawberry
cream.
shortcake.
Whoa. What are you doing? You have to have one too.
I was only giving you one.
Well, you had to be both of them.
Alrighty.
All right. Vic, what do you think?
So freaking good.
These are the best.
You're awesome.
Right?
They're only limited edition though. I don't think these aren't one of the ones that like you have to vote on.
Yeah.
So I think they're only going to be out for like a couple months.
These are good.
So we need to like stock up. I think we should all buy like 10 each. So we always have them.
If you want to spend $50 on Oreo cookies, then that's up to you.
They're on sale right now at ShopRite 2 for $5. Which is
It's so funny when Vicki talks like a fat kid because she's like so goddamn skinny.
I just have 5 of these.
She's like, we need all the Oreos. Go to Target and buy all of them now.
Well,
Lay off, man. I'm starving.
Sunday, Vicki and I had to go to Costco to like do something stupid, and she's like, "Do you want to go try all? You want to go around and try all the samples?"
Thanks for letting everyone know that was my idea.
I didn't say no. So literally, like for 15 minutes we went from like, and Sunday was like prime time sample day. Like what did we have? Gouda cheese.
Smoked Gouda.
Yeah, it was
which
so
was
good.
so good.
We had taquitos.
We had the potato
The
thing.
potato knishes.
Thank you for always finishing that sentence. Or that word.
We had the popcorn chicken,
Yeah.
which you had a problem with that.
I did have a problem with that. The little toothpick, you know, that they put
Yeah.
on it, I guess it like broke and
You
it
ate
got stuck in my mouth. But you didn't even know until I
Never
told
really
you.
happened to you.
I just moved past it. I was like, well, chicken was good.
These are good. I've had the strawberry milkshake Oreos before, long before we would do the podcast. So it's not like I was hurting any of you.
Oh, whatever.
Sampling. And they were good.
I'm not
I
even
thought
sorry.
The milkshake ones I thought were a little bit better because I feel like they were a little less sweet.
Mm.
These have a real sugary.
Yeah,
kinda-
they do.
There's actually, you can see like I really like the golden Oreos, and
Same.
inside the cookie there's actually like some sort of
Like
strawberry,
strawberry
flavor.
pieces. Yeah. I think
Yeah,
it
but
says
I
on
mean,
here,
it's a strawberry shortcake ice cream bar.
cookie
Yeah.
with strawberry flavored bits in the cookie. Oh, they cut us off.
Yeah,
So
I was gonna say we should
unfortunate.
wrap up, but whatever.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay. We still got to wrap up because
There's
we're
2 more cookies in
recording.
Wow, there's really only 2 more cookies in there. Wow.
Well, this.
what are you trying to
Okay,
say?
first of all,
I'm trying to
Joseph,
say you ate the whole freaking package.
This is a smaller package.
Oh,
than
you
the
know,
normal
I don't
Oreo.
want to
The
hear
normal
it.
Oreo is
That's
bigger
what she
by-
said.
All right.
So we're gonna wrap it up. Where are we?
Friday.
Wait, can
Don't
I?
mean to cut you off.
Before
Yeah,
you
so-
guys wrap it up.
I was gonna say that.
Before you guys
Hold
wrap
on,
it up,
Nicolena's got a speech.
For a guest,
No.
she's awfully pushy.
Right?
I know, whatever. So, for all you listeners, I think next time you come to shows, Mike and Joe are excellent candidates for husbands,
Husbands.
Jeez.
boyfriends,
Listen.
whatever you want to make them.
And I'm also a good candidate for a boyfriend, not a husband, just a boyfriend.
And trust me, ladies, you will give him back.
Friday night. Where are we?
went to the
Stagehouse.
Steakhouse
10 o'clock.
Tavern, Friday
9:30 or
night.
is it 10 o'clock?
10 o'clock.
All right, 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock. Steam Pub on Friday.
Still talking into that
Southampton.
microphone.
Harris Pool.
Wait. Saturday, Steam Pub,
Right. I said Steam.
Southampton, Pennsylvania.
Harris, we're starting, I think, at 8.
Harris, we start at 8 on Sunday.
That's in
A
Atlantic
little
City.
Sunday funny and Sunday funny.
Sunday
Sunday fun day in Atlantic City, 8 o'clock. Come by the pool at Harris. And Monday, we're back at Nardi's.
We got another big week, I think, coming up after that, too. I don't know if it's the fall.
First week of August.
Yeah. There we go. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, wow, I can't believe we're at the end of July already.
Oh, yeah.
This
Alrighty.
This was
sounds
fun.
good. Yeah, thanks
Special
for
thanks to our guest here.
Oh, you're welcome. It was a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
come back anytime.
Please.
If you're ever in the area while we're doing the
Yeah,
podcast,
I'll try. I'll try to be there.
Goodbye, everybody.